Alright, NSMB readers, watchers and listeners. Giant have just released their new 2019 Trance 29, and it's a bike that has a bunch of new things going on and quite a change for Giant, as many know. While in Italy, we had a chance to speak with their senior global category manager, Kevin Dana, about the new bike and what went into the process in developing it. So I'll start with you, Kev. I've got a bunch of questions for you on the new Trance. First, the 650B. The new one that we've been riding is a 2.9 with a bunch of changes, and the 650 is going to stay the same for 2019.
Yep.
Why did you guys focus so heavily on just the 2.9 and not look to improve the 650 as well at the same time?
Great question. It really is a simple matter of resource allocation. A lot of people think because Giant's the largest bicycle company in the world that we have unlimited resources, but the reality is we don't, and we really want to prioritize on certain projects. And if we have projects that we want to spend even more time on, then we'll even slim that list down even more.
Okay.
And they're not just mountain bike projects that we have to manage resources for, they're road bike projects and youth projects, and then the gear team, so components and wheels.
Yeah.
And so we have to really look at all of those things and then decide what our priorities are.
You said there were some challenges that sort of prevented you guys from coming out with the 2.9 earlier, and boost, one by
Fork offset.
Yeah. So what for you do you think was the biggest challenge that prevented that bike from coming earlier out of those?
One of the things was really 2 in 1, and that would be the move to where globally everyone has finally embraced one by, so we don't need to accommodate front derailleurs on the frame, which means we can have really short chain stays and push things out and accept 2.5 tires, or 2.6 depending on brand, with 30 mil rims. And by eliminating the front derailleur, you can do that.
Yeah.
Keep chainstay short, shove a huge tire in, and then the fork offset thing was huge as we started playing with different geometries and pushing that front end that reached longer and longer and making the head angle slacker and slacker. We realized that having a reduced fork offset actually made the bike perform even better. It was way more fun to ride. But the first bikes we built were built around traditional 51 offsets, which everyone was using at the time. It was okay, but it was nothing like the bike we have today.
Yeah, the shorter offset really changed what was going on.
Yeah, really allows us to push that reach out, slacken the head angle. We've got a 66.5 head angle on a short travel bike, which there isn't many products out there like that.
Did much change when you guys found that shorter fork offset? Did you go and then be like, okay, we're going to make it even longer, or anything after that fact? Yeah,
that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Made it even longer, and we went a full degree slacker than what we were originally testing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
At the presentation, there was some talk about the challenges with developing suspension for a short travel bike that can handle like the new Trance. Sort of beg the question, like, why limit the travel so much if you're having those difficulties with tuning?
Great question. We didn't really set out and say this is how much travel the bike's going to have. We really set out determining some of the parameters, and one of the key things is we start pushing front ends out longer and longer, those reaches with the slacker head angles, is then controlling the overall wheelbase. And we really know within 5 millimeters what an acceptable chainstay length is and what the effect on the performance is. And with the layout of our suspension design and the overall packaging of the bike, we have constraints we have to stay within. Again, fitting tires in there and all those things. And we really set 435 is like the maximum. That's as long as we were willing to accept based on testing of other prototypes. And then what we do is we engineer around that to see how much wheel travel we can accommodate. And we ended up at 115. It could have been 111, it could have been 118. It just happened to land on 115. And then we fit the right size shock in there, and then we go from there. And then we again set about tuning to get the best performance we can out of that package.
So talking about that tuning and the shock and everything, like, it's got a really low leverage ratio on that shock. Was that a goal initially, or was that also just sort of how it came to be?
We always try to, we always look at that leverage ratio, and we always want to keep it low. But again, as we work into that packaging of what that stroke is, that it's a 165/42.5 shock. And then depending on what we're asking the bike to do with that shock, we had a nice low leverage ratio to work with, and then again working with the DVO guys, we're able to build a shock that is capable of handling the type of riding we've done the last couple of days. And then that low leverage ratio just gives us a lot to work with.
Tune-wise.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of discussion about the DVO guys and how tightly you guys work together on getting that tune right. How did that sort of affect on the lower models that don't have the DVO stuff then?
Great question. The lower models that don't have DVO are using Fox suspension, and so while we tuned extensively with DVO, more than any other suspension supplier ever, we also tuned with Fox, and we put in a lot of time with them. And you heard us talk about, we went through over 100 tunes with DVO.
Yeah.
We didn't go through nearly that many with Fox, but we did set a tune record with Fox during our tune session, and we tuned for their crew more products in a 3-4 day time window than they had ever done in their test sessions before. So we put a lot of time in, so we're ensuring that the consumers that are getting those lower cost bikes are still going to get great ride characteristics out of the product. If they want to step up to a much more capable product with elite level of tuning, then they can step up to the DVO equipped model.
So with the amount of time you guys spent on tuning, why was it so much with this bike in particular? Was it hard to get how you wanted, or were you searching for something different?
We were, we've got a short travel bike that has big bike geometry, and it's really, especially when we were working on the bike, and even in last fall, there's nothing like it on the market. So you're asking a bike to do a whole lot. You're asking the shock to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
You're trying to do a lot with a little, and it's something that really hadn't been done before. The easy solution is to throw a longer shock in there, but then your leverage ratio goes up, and you're not going to get the best ride quality out of it. We're really determined to get the best ride quality and the most tuning capability for the widest range of riders.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask.
Yeah.
Go, keep it rolling.